Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Matinee Show. Today we're going to see MCU's Moon Knight series. This series is a part of Phase 4 from MCU. This series focuses on Mark Spector, a former Marine Corps turned into a mercenary who is suffering from multiple personality disorder. So he has three different personalities. Mark Spector, who is a mercenary who assassins people for money, and Steven, a lovable person who works at a museum in London, and Jake Lockley, who's kind of a unhinged Mark Spector. So the basic premise of the story is like Steve, who works in a museum, comes across Arthur, who's kind of running a cult, which follows that god as Amit. So knowing his bad intentions of releasing Amit from his statue form, Khonshu and Mark Spectors combine together to stop Arthur Arrow from releasing Amit and causing havoc. And how Mark and Steven understand each other, even though they live in the same body, how they are different from each other, and how they coordinate to become a Moon Knight and to serve justice for the people who travel in the night. So this is the entire series is all about. So going to the positive and aspects of the show, number one would be Oscar Isaac's performance. Hands down, this is one of the best performance from MCU, in an MCU movie or series. I'm pretty sure like he would get an Emmy nomination for a limited series from MCU. This will be one of his best performance from Oscar Isaac, and like, we as an audience can see how much effort he has done to make sure that we understand the difference between Mark and Spectre, Mark, Steven, and Jake Lockley, whether it be through his soft sounding nature when he is in Steven, or like when he is ruthless and angry when he is as a Mark Spectre. So like he has shown basic difference. How Mark and Steven are like how are their characters and how's their nature, especially the special appreciation for his performance in fifth episode. That episode is purely carried by Oscar Isaac, and I think the director gave like an like entire script to him for the fifth episode and told him to go and act. What a performance, man! Like this is one of the best performances from I've seen from an MCU movie. And number two would be exploring Egyptian mythos. So like we all know how much little superhero are based upon Egyptian mythos. So the series takes inspiration from Egyptian mythos as a crux of the story, and progresses through different cultures, and how different each and every Egyptian god, and how would they treat justice in front of their eyes. So the series completely focuses on what is Egyptian mythology, like how Khonshu or like Amit, how they serve justice, and how they operate as like a god, and how Egyptian culture revolves around those gods. So like we can see a lot of this Egyptian related mythos as a story part. So dot tone dot as I said earlier, the series like is completely out of Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the series doesn't have any references or like any happenings of Thanos, if I remember correctly. So the story revolves around two plot lines. One, how Mark Spector is like diagnosed, and how he overcomes his multiple personality disorder. And number two is like as I said earlier, this Egyptian myth, and how Arthur Arrow tries to release Amit from his tomb. So like the Mark Spector's multiple personality disorder is so flushed out. Like they took entire five episodes to completely develop his Mark Spector's how like how much he's suffering from multiple personality disorder, and what made him to go through this multiple personality trauma, how his backstory related to his mom and his brother is so painful to watch, and it's like a much darker tone for MCU standards. I'm saying it's much darker tone, like how his mom treated like Mark Spector is so like painful to watch as a viewer. We get a proper justification like how Mark Spector formed a multiple personality disorder. Like it is properly conveyed in a simple manner, not complicated, which will be helpful for a lot of audience to like understand multiple personality disorder. So coming to the negative aspects of this series, so number one would be the appearance of Jake Lockley. So like in this entire series, they have teased Jake Lockley throughout the series, but like we couldn't see how Jake Lockley is different from Mark Spector or Steven. Like the entire series revolved on Mark and Steven, but there was a little tease like. How Jake Lockley would be there in that particular situation, and like how unhinged and like how violent he would be. So like a lot of like teasing, but they didn't reveal Jake Lockley as much as they fleshed out the Mark and Steven's character. Like we didn't get a proper justification like how Jake Lockley came into picture. Because I wanted to see like how they like going to like write Jake Lockley's character, because they took 5 episodes to completely establish the dynamic between Mark and Steven, but little to no time was given for Jake Lockley's character, who just appears as a cameo in a post-credit scene. We can say they could have given much time for him in to completely evolve as a character, like how he became as Jake Lockley, because like a lot of scenes involving Jake Lockley ends up like we would get just a glimpse of Max like Jake Lockley. So that's a huge disappointment from my end. And number two would be like a rushed up finale. This series had a potential to become the one of the best Marvel series out there, but like I don't know what restricted them to 6 episodes, because they took like entire 5 episodes to lay out the character difference between Mark and Steven, and how what is the intention of Arthur Arrow to release Amit. Like they developed the story so good, but and the end of the season six, episode six, they completely screwed it out, and they like bought out a typical Marvel out act by bringing a large sky beam and bringing a huge Amit and Khonshu statue like fighting against each other. So that's like a kind of ruined this series, in my opinion. Like they build up this series so good with lot of character depth and like a lot of emotional connected with the series, but like they completely went back to the basics of like big sky beam and big with two big characters fighting against each other. uh, Marvel should have given like at least the eight or 9 episodes for this story to like completely get over. But due to the restriction, I get it. Like they try to cramp the series within 6 episodes, because till like fifth episode we wouldn't get how much how the series will get ended. Because we didn't have any idea. But season six, they went back to the basics, Marvel stuff. So number three would be like nitpicking. So they like violence and 18 plus rated, 18 plus rated. So like this series was hyped up by Kevin Feige. Like this is going to be one of the brutal and rated R show kind of show from Marvel, peak violence and stuff. But I appreciate the dark tone of introducing multiple personality disorder and how traumatized by how was his childhood. I get I accept that point. But like Moon Knight is, come on, is one of the most violent characters out there. But like whenever the violent scene comes, like they completely black out, and like we should assume that something violence has happened. So that was kind of disappointed from me. I know this is nitpicking, but I was expecting much more violence, considering like they hyped up the series as it's going to be like a R-rated series. So final verdict is that I like this series, and it's like must watch from my end, and I would give a rating of 8 out of 10. So that's it from my end. Thank you as ever for watching. If you like this review, please give us a thumbs up, and plus press the bell icon, and click that bell subscribe button for future awesome contents. Thank you and have a good day. Cheers.